Hello and welcome to the Better Endeavors podcast. I am your host, Garrett. I want to thank you for taking the time to tune in as I share my thoughts, experiences, and expertise in high-ticket sales and improving business and sales process. Each podcast, I will be talking about how to talk to potential clients, close more deals, and ultimately talk less and close more. My goal is for this to basically be a place to where you guys come on like a weekly basis for real, raw, and valuable advice on how to level up your sales game and ultimately make the money you know you're capable of making. So get ready for the Better Endeavors podcast. So in this video, I'm going to be covering the 3 qualities that I see across the board on every single sales rep that's a high performer. So basically the 3 of these are work ethic, self-awareness, and being detached from the outcome. Now I'm going to break down like all 3 of these. So number 1 would be work ethic. When I say I've talked to hundreds and hundreds of sales guys that have done numbers and are doing numbers, I mean that. And across the board, all of them work hard. You get to a certain point to where you have enough money to where you do not have to work like 12-hour days and like work just like all the time. But every single guy I've ever met that does numbers works long hours. It's just what I've seen. Like all of them work hard because in doing more reps, you get better at the thing that you're doing. So when you do this for hours, on end, you get good at it. And I think work ethic is just like, I mean, it sounds simple, but like for real, just doing the work and the working a lot, because it's genuinely hard for me to spend hours not on the phone because I close at like a 70% close rate as of this month. Like it's not always that. It's usually buffers between 60 to 70%. But it's hard for me to not take phone calls because literally I close a very strong majority of the people that I talk to. So the more calls I make, the more money I make. So it's just hard not to work more because it's fun and I'm good at it. And it's fun to do. I genuinely just enjoy it. And I love the whole process of things. And with that, the second one would be self-awareness, like without a doubt. And what I mean by that is just very self-aware of what they're doing if they're in a bad mood, if that correlates to them having a bad day with sales. If they're having a good day, that correlates to how well they're doing in sales. If when they ask for price, they do a little tweak. They say something a little bit different when they set the agenda. They have a little tweak in how they do things. And then they'll study and see, okay, here are the calls to where I did this thing and here normally, and here's when I did something completely different to test something out. My closing rate was actually higher when I did the thing that I tested out. So I'm going to do more of that. So you kind of just like having the exact same conversation hundreds and thousands of times, depending on how long you sell for this company. So you have the advantage in having this fucking conversation. The guy that is on the other end of the phone has had this conversation one time and you've had it hundreds of times. You have the advantage. So with that being said, it is in your best interest to have the thing that you do almost every single time that is very, very, very repeatable. And then it's a very great idea to also test new things to see if they perform better than what you're currently doing. And I see a lot of sales guys do this. So like, oh, I saw on this Alex Ramosi video or on one of Garrett's YouTube videos that he said to do this. So I'm going to try it and then we'll see, okay, if I take 10 calls the way I currently do it and I take 10 calls the way, trying this new thing, and this one I close 5 out of 10 and this one I close 7 out of 10, I'm going to keep doing this thing. And then they'll just continue to test and test and test and test and test until they have the most optimal sales process for the specific thing that they're selling. So just being extremely self-aware. At the end of every week, they will listen to all of their calls, break down and take notes. Okay, on Tuesday, I only closed like 20% of my calls. I don't know why. Let's look into that. And then they'll figure out why. And they'll see the day where they closed every single person. They had 8 calls. They closed 8 calls. Why did I close those 8? Was it just because I was in a good mood and I was riding the high of that first, sale that I closed, and then it just snowballed into just crushing it all day? When I had that bad day, like, was it something external? Was it, honestly, I was just freaking tired and I didn't get enough sleep the night before? Like, there's a reason for everything, and you can study your failures and figure out why you failed and study your successes and figure out why you succeeded. Every sales guy I know that's a high performer is just very like analytical and just self-observant and self-aware of what they're doing, testing out new things, always trying new things and figuring out what works. And you can't do that if you don't have a strong work ethic. And all these guys do. including myself, obviously. So that's kind of like the self-awareness aspect of things that I think is just really, really, really crucial. Always trying new things, studying your calls, taking notes on I have like this, like literally five subject, I think that's what these called, these notebooks. I have like 5 of these. Every time I have a call, I take notes on Danny from Nebraska is a farmer and this is his problems, here are his pains, and here are the what he's looking to get out of this product or service, and this is how old he is, and this is his kid's birthday is coming up in 2 weeks, and we spoke on this day. I have all of that for every single phone call I take. So if Danny ever randomly says, hey, I want to get started, or hey, I have a question about this, I can be like, hey, how was your kid's birthday? And it's just those little minor details that had I not taken notes, because I don't freaking remember Danny. I barely remember that phone call. I'm on so many all the time. But if you take a little bit of notes on every single call, it's extremely helpful to keeping track of leads and remembering things about calls. Because if you hear them talk and you glance at your notes, you're like, oh yeah, I remember. So just little stuff like that, like taking notes on every single phone call, is just, kind of aids that like self-awareness thing I spoke on. And then number 3, honestly, the most important of all of them is they're all detached from the outcome of closing the sale. Every single sales guy I know that does numbers is detached from the outcome of closing that sale. And when I was first, I remember distinctly at the first sales agency and first sales gig, whatever that I sold for, the guy that was training me, or, the guy that hired me, whatever, he had done, I don't even remember, I think he's done like 53 million in sales throughout, his whole life. And he was in his mid-20s, multimillionaire, really intelligent guy. And he told me, like, dude, you're like so attached to the outcome of closing the sale that you're pushing people away because you sound so needy. And in you needing it so bad, you're like pushing people even further. And at the time I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm trying to make money. Like, I want to make money. Like, I want to close deals so I can make more money. Like, he's just saying this because he's rich. And like, he doesn't understand, like, I'm not in a great financial position. I need the sale. Now I'm giving the exact same advice. And I have people like scratching their brain, like, what in the hell are you talking about? No, it's funny how that thing works, because obviously when you're in a place where you have a good deal of money in the bank and you're financially pretty secure and you got your basic necessities and everything covered, and some, it's easy to be like, oh, you have to be detached from the outcome, not worry about it. But like, for real, you need to just like not care whether you close the deal or not, and really care about helping people and giving them the solution to their problems. And if that's not your product and service, I can't morally or ethically close someone knowing that they're not in a better position after they speak with me. I can't do it. Like, if someone's going to be in a worse position after I close them and they give me, give the business owner thousands of dollars, I can't allow that to happen if they're not in a better place after spending thousands of dollars with us. So my main priority is, how do I help this person solve the current problems they have? And in their head, they have a place where they want to be. If we can get them there and solve the problems they currently have, then I'll close them. I've had people that I know deep down I could have closed that I just can't, because I know they're not going to be in a better place. It's not a good fit. So being detached from the outcome in that sense of just, my main priority is not closing the sale. My main priority is helping this person. And being so detached from the outcome that you could say, dude, I don't think you'd be a good fit for us. Like, I don't know, like, what makes you think you would be a good fit for us? Aha. Like, when you switch the dynamic on a sales call from not, I'm trying to close you on this thing, to reverse these roles, now it's almost like a job interview. Like, what makes you think you'd be a good fit for us? Like, we only take on like 10 clients or so at a time. Like, our time's limited. Like, why should you even work with us? Like, what makes you think you qualify to work with us? Then they're selling you as to why they deserve to be your client. And now you're not selling them, and the whole roles are reversed. And because you're detached from the outcome, like, people naturally want what they can't have. We can go to the whole dating and like girls, guys, you know, relationships, hooking up, whole culture thing. Like if you're at like a bar or just any social setting, it doesn't matter. And the girl that's surrounded by all the guys giving her all the attention, saying, "Oh my God, you're so hot, you're so this, can I take you on a date? You know, can I buy you something, you know, whatever." Like she'll be surrounded by all that, but she doesn't want any of that because they sound so needy. What she wants is that one guy in the corner that won't give her attention or has a, you know, girlfriend or whatever. Like people just naturally want what they can't have. So they'll have all these guys that, you know, are wanting her and wanting her. She's like, "Yeah, I could obviously get you, but I want that one guy that I can't get." It is the exact same. It's just sheer psychology that goes into sales, which is if you sound super needy and you're like, "Oh my God, we have the best service in the world. Like I promise, like we're going to do this, this, and this for you. And we'll also do this. And I swear to God, like our clients get such good results." It's like, calm down, dude. You sound like, like I know you guys are, you may know a friend or something like that is just like DMing a girl like crazy or double, triple texting and just like sound so needy and so clingy. And they never get like girls or like they never are in a relationship. It's the exact same thing. Like you sound like this like super needy person. And it's like, why do you need a client so bad? Like you guys must, like the psychology of this is you must not be good. Your business must not be doing very well if you need me so bad. If you get such good results, why do you need me so bad? Don't you already have clients you get good results for? So if you're like the person who doesn't need it as bad in any negotiation will always win because they can walk away and they're completely fine with it. So in pushing them away and acting like you don't need them, aha, now they want you more. And then in turn, they want it even more. You're much more desirable. And in turn, you close a lot more sales by being detached from the outcome of closing the sale. That's really it for this video. To recap, work ethic, work hard. Like if you want to be a high performing salesperson doing 10, 20, 30 grand a month and beyond, work hard. Like that is it. The more calls you get on, the more at bats. Like it's literally like baseball. Like it's like if you want to hit 100 home runs in a season and you only take 20 at bats, it is physically impossible to hit 100 home runs. If you take 2,000 at bats, now it's possible because you only have to do what, 10%, whatever the number is. Like, you know, you don't have to do that many times, 5%, whatever. It's just a sheer probability game. And by doing more reps and having more at bats, you have a higher probability of getting the outcome you're searching for. If you only take, you know what I mean? Like if you make $1,000 on every deal you close and you're trying to make whatever, $20,000 a month, you need to close 20 deals. So if you only hop on 40 phone calls, and this may be a bad example, you only hop on 40 phone calls, but you have to close 50% to get there. But if you take 100 calls, 20%, that's like bad. 20% close rate, it's below average and you'll still get there. So literally, like if you're early on in your kind of like sales career, do as many reps as possible because the work works on you more than you work on it. Like it is not about I need to take this phone call so I can make the money. It's I take as many phone calls as I can because I get better at doing the phone calls and then in turn I get better and then I make more money. And sure, you close deals and make money in the process, but the goal is to get good at the work. So work hard is literally everything. Like that can solve a strong majority of your problems. And then in working hard, don't just work hard, also work smart. And what I mean by that is being self-aware, which is the second bullet that I covered, which is just constantly be evolving in your process and learning new things and just be curious and try new things and test new things and keep track of all your data and take notes and all that. And then third, be detached from the outcome. I don't care if you have $5 in your bank account, be detached from the outcome because it's the single thing that will make you drastically better at sales, like in general. Like the more detached you are, the higher probability you have of closing because you have more of an emphasis on closing people than the money you make. And when you don't have this and you are attached to the outcome, you sound super needy. You have like commission breath, as in they can tell this isn't even about me. This is about him and him making money off of me. And that rubs people wrong. Being detached from the outcome and being like, my main priority is helping you. People are like, huh, this guy's different. Most sales guys you talk to just want your money. They'll say anything you can to convince them to close because they want to make the money. And so he's like, huh, this guy's different because he literally just wants to help me. And that's like his main priority. and he also like doesn't even need me as like a client, which for some reason in my head makes them more attractive, and then in turn you close more deals. So that's really it for this video. These are the 3 qualities I've seen of all high performing salespeople, which I've spoke to literally hundreds, and that is it. I will catch you guys next week.
Look at my glass, man. Yeah.